we'll take a powder tool first. I also want to say, if you're in a hurry to get to the baseball game, don't stay in a hurry.
Well, I can do my part quickly. I cannot speak for Mr. Mattingly or Ms. Prater. I'm almost done.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Royce, I was talking. I didn't know you had started.
I'm starting now, as of now. If I can get the click to work. Here we go. Our council this year developed a vision statement with goals and our mission statement and our belief statements. It's very similar to that of the Marion County District, and we wanted our goals to be in line and very similar to that. This year we have been focusing on literature, on literacy, and this is kind of a conglomeration of pictures of some of the events. We've got a young author there. We've got the Daily 5 classroom. We've got two teachers here, Thing 1 and Thing 2, for our reading celebration on Dr. Seuss's birthday. So there's been lots of activities going on. These are our ThinkLink scores. If you focus on grades 3, 4, and 5, if you notice, third grade, this is reading. They've gone from 21% novice, 31% novice to 7.7%. This shows the number of students. They went from 34% apprentice to 43. Then they jumped from 22 to 36% proficient and 6 to 12% distinguished. Then these little numbers right here. Last year on K-Prep, third grade had 52.5% distinguished and proficient. Right now we are at 49.2. Last year in fourth grade on K-Prep, they had 44.1. This year we're at 38.1, according to ThinkLink. And we know that in fourth grade we have a weakness in literature. That's our biggest downfall. So we're having a very definite focus on that in the next few weeks. Then in fifth grade last year, fifth grade had 33.9% distinguished and proficient. And this year on ThinkLink, we are at 58.8%. So all but fourth grade has gone down. This one's gone down a little bit. But if you follow these kids, they were here at 52.5. They dropped to 38.1. So that's not good. We are working on that. Then you take the kids last year in fourth grade were at 44.1, and they've gone up to 58. So there has been some improvement in the students coming from fourth to fifth. That's one thing about tests now. You can kind of track those kids from year to year. In math, looking at, can you move that over just a tad? I guess I can do that. You can see I did the same kind of comparison between K-Prep and the ThinkLink. Last year it was 62.3 on ThinkLink, on K-Prep, sorry, K-Prep. Now it's 53.9. This is proficient, distinguished. 38.1 now in math. Fourth grade is at 57.1. And there's been a significant improvement from K-Prep to ThinkLink, 37 and 52. So things are looking up and going in the right direction, we hope. The main thing is, and I think all elementary teacher principals will tell you this, what we don't know for sure is how ThinkLink is going to truly compare to the K-Prep test because of the standards. Many of the same things that Leanne alluded to a minute ago, it's very true. So we're all just kind of waiting to see. Since analyzing our thankfully scores, we've discovered that we need to emphasize phonics, we need to work on number sense, work on independent reading skills, develop strategies for making meaning while you read, making those real world and prior knowledge connections, writing consistency across all grades. We need to work on listening skills, and fourth graders need to work in the area of literature. And a lot of those skills that we're talking about here, other than in reading and language arts, are skills that we hope to address through the Daily 5, especially when you consider the listening skills, being there's a listening center in Daily 5, and I think that's going to help to improve our listening skills for sure. What's being done now is focused on higher order thinking questions, cooperative learning, checking for congruency with standards for assessment and group work. We've had a walkthrough from KASC. I got the report back this morning, so I haven't really had time to analyze that yet. Professional development on standards work. We've also had professional development on rigor, relevance, engagement, and PLCs. And we'll be beginning the book study soon of the Daily 5. The school improvement plan listed says that we are going to do these things in the coming year. Implementation of Read 180 for 4th and 5th grades, Daily 5 in all classrooms, drop everything and read to increase reading stamina. It's the same thing Leanne was talking about a minute ago when you're trying to get students able to read those long passages. You've got to get them trained, their minds trained to be able to sit there and read undisturbed for a period of time. Consistent writing program school-wide, journal writing for writing stamina. So not only do they need to be able to read for periods of time, they need to be able to write for extended periods of time too. Being able to come up with ideas, being able to put those thoughts into words. Consistent use of calendar math and redesigning ESS to better meet the needs of students. And we're going to try to incorporate some kind of social studies activity day and have more consistent instruction for social studies. That's it. I did that real fast.
100%.
Can't read? Oh no. If you look over here, there's 9% first grade, 12.3.
Math. Go back.
Math, excuse me, sorry. Okay. 4.5% in first grade, 1.5 in second, 7.7 in third, 27% in fourth. Same thing, fourth grade. It's everywhere, I think. And 19% in fifth grade. So what that totals to be, I'm sorry, I can't give you a. I don't really think of that as being a statistic that I keep in my head. I know it's a focus for you, but it's something that.
I'm actually the only one that matters.
What?
I said, I'm the one that matters. Did you know what's important to me? I said, yeah, I'm the one that matters. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, of course you are. Any other questions?
Oh, you wouldn't know what the fourth grade was the previous year, which year?
I mean, prior to this,
Yes.
It wouldn't matter because that was CATS test.
Okay.
So you can't, you wouldn't be comparing.
I just,
No, you can't compare that. Okay. Thank you. Calvary. That's 9 minutes, so John's timing.
Try me on this. A focus that we have had this year, kind of our school-wide theme is teamwork makes the dream work, and it was even wonderful. We had some kids writing about a theme of a story the other day, Mr. Jacob, and he wrote on there, the theme of the story was about teamwork. So he writes on there, teamwork makes the dream work. And I thought, whoo, well, somebody's listening at Calvary. But this year has been a big year about learning together. And something that I feel like we have done a really great job this year is letting the data, whether that be SRI or ThinkLink data, really drive what we do at Calvary Elementary School. One of the big things that we do is really look at our ThinkLink and our SRI data and make immediate interventions and identify students by name, who they are, what the deficit is, and we go in with a plan, especially with reading and math. So with reading, what we do is we already have in place small group reading. We use our classified staff. They go into classrooms, and we always have at least 3 leveled reading groups in primary, in addition to 4 leveled literacy groups, and then we have center work as well that has support staff coming in. So that's just sort of a basic for all of our students at Calvary Elementary School to receive as much small group, focused, differentiated instruction anyway. So this is outside of that norm. What are we doing for students who still, with that type of classroom environments, aren't meeting the type of mastery level that we would like to see out of the students? So with reading, what we're doing to give students more, as we are currently using a supplemental reading program, and right now we're targeting grades 3, 4, and 5, and that started right after our March ThinkLink. Before, we were targeting a variety of students in all grade levels, and some of our focus was in primary, some students that had been identified weren't reading on grade level, and we were doing a variety of things from reading mastery, small group, that they would be in the morning or after school in like an ESS format. After the last ThinkLink, we decided to put our time into 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students primarily, and we've kind of focused on that portion right now, and they meet and they do additional reading groups either before school starts or after school starts, and that's in addition to what they're doing in the classroom anyway. They have ongoing assessments to monitor their comprehension and fluency. They will read together in a group setting. They'll work on comprehension strategies. They'll talk about it, and then that teacher will also assess them outside of that. They do a lot of test analysis, so once the students take their assessment and it's scored, they go back, the students do, and identify areas that they were incorrect in, what was the better choice, why was it the better choice, and that affords them the opportunity to learn from mistakes and improve with that. And they're also getting fluency checks, and those things, of course, are being filtered through the teachers and myself to kind of keep a little bit more of a track on them, looking for something that helps them outside of the regular classroom for reading. We also have this program going with math. Our biggest focus, of course, right now is our reading and our math standards that are changed, that are new to the Common Core. And with the math, it's something similar. We still have math instruction going on. We use Math in Focus. K through 5 at Calvary Elementary School. We do have classroom certified staff, classified staff going into class during math group time in every classroom. In primary, that looks a lot like center-based instructions, and there may be 2 or 3 teachers in there. If the outside person came into a classroom and I said, pick the teacher, and they didn't know, there would be a little bit of trouble identifying exactly whose classroom that really is. And in the intermediate grades, we'd have at least one person going in and helping the teacher give that specific feedback to kids, answering questions more quickly, up to pulling kids to the side and offering a reteach type environment so that they can have their needs addressed a little bit quicker. This is outside of that. We use this during the school day. This happens Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. It happens that way because we have PE by the same instructor on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday mornings. So our PE instructor is a dual person here. And what we're doing is we're following data from ThinkLink. ThinkLink gives us an overall student score. They may be proficient in math, but have a novice score in a certain area. It'll break it down into 4 different sections for us. We follow subscores. not overall novice students. We follow, if you have a sub-score in any area, that's novice, you qualify for this program. Try to work around their schedules enough because it's a pull out. So when you pull out, you miss something. We try not to miss the regular math, their reading, something that they can kind of make up in a way. And what we're doing is we're offering a chance to relearn and practice identified student, identified skills. So it may be 2 or 3 students that come out first grade, they need help with operations, and that's what they'll do for a half an hour. And then more think-link type assessments are given, and it's a flexible grouping. When they show mastery consistently, they're out more again. And that is redone every time we get think-link. We did in December, we had a group go through. We assessed that group, some went out, some stayed in. Some kids struggle with that math, and we see some of the same students reoccurring in this type group. So that is what we're doing outside of our regular instruction for reading and math. I'm focused on our novice reductions because that's what we're trying to eliminate. Yes, our distinguished has gone up. Yes, our proficient has gone up. Yes, our apprentice levels have gone up. That is going to happen. What we're trying to do and what our CSIP focus on, get rid of the novice, because that's telling me that there is a deficit in that area. So we're really trying to reduce that. What you see on the left side is our improvements in reading. The number in parentheses is where we came from in December. So at 2% at Calvary Elementary School, that's about 1 student. The way our numbers run because we have a small school. Currently, according to the last think-link, we have reduced our novice in reading in grade 2. That's still a hold on to kind of thing. That doesn't mean next year when I'm talking, you go, oh, now there's 3rd grade, now there's more novice. What happened? Standards increase, the rigor increases, so that stretch level increases as well. So we're really proud of that. 3rd grade is where it really starts changing, as Ms. Devine tried to explain to you. 1st and 2nd think-link is still kind of basic and primary, and then they cranked it up in December when it got to 3rd, 4th, and 5th to match the K-Prep. So in December, you can see that we were reporting 23.8% of our 3rd grade students novice. That is down to 11.9, roughly about 4 kiddos. 4th grade, you'll notice it's coming, I wonder how Mr. Manley's 4th grade was. 4th grade is our tough year. They have the most gap, especially in math, as standards changed and math and focus changed and everything changed, and they kind of are suffering. And when I see that number, I see students. And right now in 4th grade is our biggest target group as far as who's in our interventions. We have yet to produce a strong change. That is 9 students in 4th grade that we are having trouble getting over the hump. Those 9 students have been identified for our summer Read 180 program. They are the same 9 students, and I'm trying to get parent permission to have them join that program, and it will come down to parent permission with that program, and we're kind of on the line whether they want to be involved in that completely. 5th grade though, reading 25.6%, they got them down to 5, they've got 3 students there, and it's funny that the reading and math, I didn't make it up, was identical on both sides and with identical type reduction there. So I really feel like targeting kids, knowing their names. To you all, this is number, I'm talking students. I can see their faces on this screen. We have also, in addition to our students learning a lot this year, our teachers are learning. I sent out a survey around the beginning of January, it was an anonymous kind of survey, just to fill people out about some things that we had been talking about, and just to let them be able to talk to me about what they needed, what they saw that they needed, and what they saw that we needed school-wide. Reading came up and came up and came up. So after some research, we did a book study school-wide called Comprehension Connections by Tammy McGregor, and it is a book that teaches us how to teach a child to comprehend. It breaks it down in 7 different strategies, things like making connections, inferencing, schema, metacognition, words you don't typically hear at the first grade level because they're such abstract ideas. This book actually gave us concrete strategies, and that has been very popular. I go into class after class, they've got the posters up, I've got first graders talking about their metacognition now. I mean, it's just really been an impactful thing that we talk about getting kids to comprehend, but what do we do for that? So that really gave us some concrete ideas about that. We read about 2 chapters every 2 weeks. It was a short book. It was very teacher friendly. It wasn't something, it was very applicable, and that's what I wanted for them. It's being implemented in reading groups right now. It's really deepened that teacher understanding and gave them more strategies. There is not a teacher in the district that is not trying really hard, and I know that's true about Calvary Elementary School. They needed something fresh and different and that stretched them more, and this book really provided that. You see some pictures at the bottom here. This is 2nd grade, a literacy group. We do have teacher-led groups, but the kids now, they are using these strategies, especially this certain team really implemented this really tight in their literacy groups. The kids are doing it. The kids are working. They each have a role. They each have a responsibility. They are increasing. They're talking about what they're reading. I had a teacher tell me not too long ago, before when she posed a question or she wanted kids to think and talk about it, they would just look at her and just sit in silence. Now she can't even be quiet long enough to move it on a little bit because they've got so many thoughts and so many things generated and talking about what they're reading. So this is something that we're really proud of. Here's some posters that are in the room, modeled straight from the book, lessons that the teachers have done with the students about inferring, finding evidence, putting their text and their thinking together makes that metacognition there, making those connections, and this really made it, like I said, concrete. We have implemented very strongly and been very strictly with learning communities. We fluctuate back and forth. We have a faculty meeting every other week and PLCs every other week, and even our faculty meetings are completely a chance to learn. No email type information is giving out during a faculty meeting. It's another chance to learn together. Our professional learning communities are a chance to improve upon that within our grade levels. Something that we did as a district, we had Kelly Hill back in, and she talked to us about text-dependent questions, and that's really a big part of K-Prep, that students can answer a question based on what the text says and be able to cite that. That is something we've known about for years. In open response writing, that was a big thing I did for 10 years as a teacher. I would write on there, I need examples from text. I taught kids to show examples from text. We were kind of feeling like we already did that, and then that was an area K-Prep showed us we weren't doing as deep as we needed to. So this is just an example of a student work that's posted outside one of my classrooms. She has the text down here. She's got the questions numbered here. And the students had to find the answer in the text so that they could use that to support themselves. It wasn't what they think or some things. If you run the risk in primary, you ask a 3rd grader to answer something, they're going to likely tell you what they think more about than what they read. This really proves their reading, and it's something that the teachers have really implemented and tried there, and we've created a lot of text-dependent questions in our PLCs. Stuff that we're still learning, I mean, the students are still learning. There's 21 days according to that. I need one of those in my school. It's tall enough, that would really drive us 21 more days. But the students are still learning. We haven't let off the gas at all, and the teachers are too. This afternoon, all our classroom teachers have got new Daily 5 and Cafe books. Daily 5 is just a reading management type system that will enable teachers to meet more one-on-one with kids and work on comprehension strategies. I'd like to see that implemented at Calvary Elementary School. So we are looking at how that type of structure, I'm not going to take away centers, reading support, reading groups, literacy, all that's going to stay. This is in addition to that, how can we meet more individually with kids and more differentiated, more tailored. This type of Daily 5 structure could lead us to more specific student learning. So we are looking at how that can impact. And something else, we have a teacher who has taught outside of the Marion County School District and has been with us for several years. And she is well versed in Kagan cooperative learning. It's nothing new. Kagan is just a style of teaching strategies. It's not reading or math or anything like that. Things even like pair, share, talk things, using your shoulder partners. But what it does is it increases student engagement and it increases student productivity, responsibility for learning and thinking. And like I said, it's just another new thing to refresh us and fine-tune us at Calvary. I know what I'm going to be asked. Hold up. All right. As far as, and I think with the elementary people, I look at this third grade level that I don't think of myself as a school. I can tell you 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade, 2nd grade, as far as our reading novices and students that I'm concerned about not being on level. 4th grade, of course, is my biggest concern. There's exactly 9 students at that level that I'm concerned about, and as 4th grade moving into 5th grade, it is a concern because the longer you wait to catch that, the bigger of a problem it becomes. 5th grade is doing really well, about 3 kiddos. Like I said, 2nd grade looks beautiful. We can hold on to that for a little while longer. So depending on the grade level, you're going to get hardly any problem up to about 30% in 4th grade. It just depends on where you target. It's everywhere. I mean, there's nobody immune to the idea that reading is just difficult for some more than others. I'm over my 9 minutes. Anything else?
That was very thorough.
That
was a comment. That was a comment.
I'm sure we will be that field.